Hi, welcome to this session for Sensor Academy, either the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, or our TikTok account. If you are watching this on any of these platforms, hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to get notified when next I post any video. And kindly leave a comment, share the video, and tag those that can find this same video very much beneficial for an exam build-up preparation. In today's tutorial, we're simply going to consider an exam relatable composition, which is going to be in English language paper 1. So this is going to be an article writing which we're going to direct to how we can use it in order to prepare adequately for an exam. So it then says you are a student at Sensor Academy and you've been observing bad behavior of prefects and you intend to express your concern in a local newspaper using the following points. So we have about more than 7 points, but I want you to understand that an article is a piece of writing mainly comprising of either a complaint or an expression based on a particular problem that is maybe immediate addressing. So the first point says poor dressing of prefectorial uniforms even on duty. 2. Usage of bad language by lots of prefects. Thirdly, some prefects do not comply with the school rules. Then, for this one, poor academic performance from prefects setting a bad example. And this one, some prefects are impolite to teachers, especially student teachers. And this one, some prefects loiter around, or a lot of prefects go unpunished when they commit an offense. Some prefects loiter around the school during learning time. And then some prefects cannot be controlled. And then prefects come with phones. Remember, it said you intend to express your concern in a local newspaper using the following points. So which means we are writing an article. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Let's grow the channel. So the first feature of a very good article is going to be the address of the writer, which when writing an exam is expressed to the actual school where you're having exams from or on. So in this case, we're going to say Sensor Academy. So here, we're going to say Sensor Academy. Sensor Academy School. Then we're going to find that the address of the writer is always in a slant way. So we count 1, 2, or 3, and then we say post office box. Maybe we just say 705. Then again 1, 2. We're going to say this is in dollar. So the address of the writer comprises of 3 things: the name of the institution, the plot number, as well as the town in which this institution is found. Then the second feature is now going to be the date, which is going to be written in a formal way. So we're going to rely on the first letter, which is an S here, and then we're going to skip a line. So here we're going to say, like today, this is 5th, that is June, 5th June. Then we're going to say 2025. Make sure you punctuate the date by using a comma and a full stop at the end. Then, for this one, I'm only trying to make a draft for you. And the draft shows how best you can easily come up with this, provided you are to write this and then it pops up in an exam. So from here, we're now going to go to the address of the receiver. So it says you want to express your concern in a local newspaper. So let's say the Times of Zambia or the Post newspaper. So in this case, we're not going to say, in this line, we're not going to say the editor. Then we're going to say times of Zambia, then post office box 1105. This doesn't mean this is their exact location or float number. Remember, this is just a composition. We're just trying to compile something that can actually make sense. So the editor, then you move on to the name of the receiver being the Times of Zambia Post Office Box. Then we're now going to say Ndola. Then from here, we're now going to say dear this line. So dear editor. Then in the oncoming line, we're going to put our reference. How do you write the reference? This, when symbolized by a capital letter R and E, means the whole actual reference is going to be written in capital letters. And then when you write a capital R and a small letter E, you're supposed to use small letters. So which means, what is the main issue? It said you've been observing bad behavior of prefects and you intend to express your concern in a local newspaper using the following points. So this type of an article is called letter to the editor. So which means we're going to say bad behavior of prefects. Bad behavior of prefects. If possible, you even underline. And then we come to the introductory paragraph. So in the introduction, your incoming is supposed to be very brief. What we're going to say, we're going to indent. We're going to start from here by just leaving a minimal space. We're going to say, I refer to the above and hereby allow me space in your widely read newspaper to lodge my complaint with So I refer to the above stated subject and hereby allow me space in your widely read newspaper to lodge my complaint with the aim of being heard. And a platform to publish. So I refer to the above stated subject and hereby allow me space in your widely read newspaper to lodge my complaint with the aim of being heard and given a platform to publish. So then we're going to start. So here we're going to say to start with. So from the given points that we had at first, I want you to understand that these points that we had at first are going to play a very vital role in terms of how we're going to use them. So to start with, like in this case, we have this point which is poor dressing of prefectorial uniforms even on duty, usage of bad language by lots of prefects, etc. So on these points that we have, we can choose any point of our choice as long as it does make sense in the paragraph we're going to use. So which means in this case, we're not going to say to start with, there is continued usage of bad language by lots of prefects. So there is usage of bad language by lots of prefects. This is bad from a leader who is supposed to set an example. So this is bad. So we're saying to start with, there is continued usage of bad language by lots of prefects. This is bad from a leader who is supposed to set an example. Then we move on to another point. So we're going to say, secondly, we indent. So secondly, we can choose a point. Another point could be some prefects are impolite to teachers, especially student teachers. Some prefects are impolite to teachers, especially student teachers. This does not, then we can expand. This does not add up and show respect to a trainee teacher, as it will reduce their morale and give them a negative school experience. So it says, secondly, some prefects are impolite to teachers, especially student teachers. This does not add up and show respect to trainee teachers, as it will reduce their morale and give them a negative school experience. We can also say, in addition, I hope we are following and that you're benefiting. So as you are writing or would be writing an exam this year, I want you to firmly understand that when writing a composition, especially in paper 1, either section A or section B, as long as it's something that has been given with points together, then expect that this is simple, because we're only trying to expand the points by making the story more meaningful. So from that point, you can also use a point that is saying some prefects are agents of bullying. So in addition, some prefects are agents of bullying, then we can continue by saying instead of condemning the act, some prefects are in support or friends with bullies. Then comma, we can say making it difficult to overcome uncomfortability when people or students being bullied complains. So in addition, some prefects are agents of bullying. Instead of condemning the act, some prefects are in support or friends with bullies, making it difficult to overcome uncomfortability when people or students being bullied complains. Then another paragraph that we can be able to add on can have the point where we can say poor academic performance from prefects setting a bad example. So we can say, moreover, there is poor academic performance from prefects, which in general may set a bad example. How do we explain this? We move on by saying prefects are supposed to show an example and be role models to their friends. So moreover, there is poor academic performance from prefects, which in general may set a bad example. Prefects are supposed to show an example and be role models to their friends. Then from here, I can show you how to conclude. So we're going to say in conclusion, I believe that. So how do you end an article? It's either you end in a solution or a challenge. So we're going to end in a challenge as we will not provide solutions. So we challenge the school to act very quickly that these problems might be curbed. So in conclusion, I believe that some rules or criteria should change based on how a prefect should be selected. In conclusion, I believe that some rules or criteria should change based on how a prefect should be selected. So, having done so, then we're now going to sign in. We're going to say yours faithfully. Then from this, we're not going to put our signature. Then from here, I'm going to say, in this case, I'm going to put my name, Sensor. So if it's in your case, trying to write an exam, you sign in with your first and full name. It's also important or necessary if you can put your contact details, more especially an article that's realistic and is written in reality. So we can go through based on the things that we've just done. So in this instance, we start from the first page. So the first page says, we said there is the address of the writer, then there is the date, then the address of the receiver, then